Good afternoon, everyone, and if anyone is watching elsewhere, apologies for the slight delayed start. As we probably all agree, we're in unusual times, and most of us have just come hot foot from other meetings or teleconferences. So, good afternoon anyway, and welcome to the Children and Families Decision Meeting. I am Councillor Susie Horton, and as of this week, I have replaced Councillor Rob Wood as Cabinet Member for Children and Families, which I'm very excited about. Housekeeping, safety information, just to go over that. If the continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room and the public gallery by the stairwells. Do not attempt to use the lifts, and assemble outside Queen Victoria's statue in front of the civic offices. I know we haven't got members of the public here, but we need to remember this in order to comply with the Guildhall Trust Fire Marshal regulations no one will have signed in, so we can skip that bit. So the live web streaming, there's a fixed camera at the back. We haven't got any members of public here. I will go round and do introductions, and please remember, I think everyone knows this, to use the microphones provided. So should we go this way?
Yeah, Anna Martin, Democratic Services.
Alison Jeffrey, Director, Children, Families and Education.
Sarah Daly, Deputy Director, Children and Families.
Angela Mann, Finance Manager for Children, Families and Education.
And we also have Fiona Cunningham from the news here. Welcome, Fiona. I just want to highlight the fact that we are sitting in accordance with social distancing, and I've just washed my hands and we are adhering to all of those. So although this meeting is going ahead, it's going ahead with real sensitivity to the important role we play in along those lines of social distancing. Okay, so to the agenda. Apologies for absence.
I'm Councillor Smythe.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Smythe also wrote to me as well and has asked me to make a couple of comments where relevant, which I will do at the relevant time. Declarations of interest. I'm guessing no. So straight on to item 3, which is allowances and skill fees annual review.
So the report sets out the review that's been undertaken as anticipated in respect of the allowances and skills and fees for foster carers. This also relates to Staying Put, Family Link and Lodgings Plus. There are specific recommendations linked to the review which are set out here, with specific attention to the proposal for payments relating to hub home carer for the Mockingbird family programme, and a proposal to increase the introduction fee to our in-house foster carers. So if we move on to the Mockingbird, Mockingbird, as we've presented here before, is one of our innovation models, and it's a method of delivering foster care which centres on an extended family model which is based on a constellation of carers. They are supported by one carer, and that is a hub carer. That carer provides a very specific role. The requirement for that carer was to be an experienced carer who had 2 vacant beds, and that they would provide sleepovers to provide support for the constellation carers, which will be up to 10 carers in that satellite hub. So the reflection on that role, on that requirement to ensure that that carer was not at disadvantage for not having children permanently in their care, that those 2 beds were permanently available to the other children in the constellation, and to recognise the expectation for that carer to be providing ongoing support to all children, but also to be a central organiser of activities and events to build resilience within that hub. We met with the Fostering Network, who provide support to us around the development of the Mockingbird model, and discussed proposed payments with them in line with the national project. And we felt that because of the level of care, the level of support that's required from this carer, that the hub home carers would be recognised as level 3 carers, and that this would be related to the financial scheme currently in place. That they would receive a Mockingbird payment, which was the equivalent of 2 level 3 fees, and that this would give them no financial disincentive. In addition, that they would receive the allowance rate in terms of the respite bed, the sleepover beds that they held, that they would also receive payment relating to 28 days paid annual leave per year, and that in order to support the activities that would be run by that carer, that they would receive a £50 allowance. So that is the proposal that is set out, and that kind of identifies why we have agreed, or why we're proposing that that level of financial support is offered to that hub home carer. I think it's worth reflecting in this meeting that we have successfully identified a home hub carer. We had a lot of interest from within our in-house carers and had some very strong carers come forward. So we are very happy that we have been able to identify a strong carer who will really be able to promote this model moving forward for us. And I think the advantage of the Mockingbird model and why we want to support it is it will enable us to provide stability for a number of children. It will provide resilience for a number of carers, and we anticipate that that will result in improved stability for our children in care, but also improve those outcomes for those children and enable them to have a more normal experience of care in terms of those sleepover arrangements with a known carer. The other item within the paper relates to the introduction fee. We are a really successful authority in terms of our foster carers. We have a strong cohort of foster carers, and in our current situation, that's being evidenced by their resilience and their real kind of sign up to working through the challenges that lie ahead for us. What we want to do is increase that cohort of carers so that we can place more of our children locally with our in-house carers and offer them the support. We currently have an introduction fee of £250. We have done some market research, and we know that local authorities neighbouring us are currently paying £500 as a welcome fee. We feel that in terms of remaining competitive and remaining to attract in experienced carers who will be able to, again, support us with care of some of our more complex children, we feel that it would be proportionate to increase our induction fee at this period of time. So they are the recommendations that are made.
Thank you. I spoke to Councillor Rob Wood, who had this portfolio up until this week, to get some information from him, and I've done as much reading as I possibly could this week through the report. In terms of, and also had comments from Councillor Judith Smythe about how supportive she was about the recommendations here, and also the Mockingbird, set up in principle. So I've got no reason to doubt any, and that it's anything but a positive thing. It's a pilot, yeah? So if it's a successful pilot, do you have any idea of how many roles we would roll out across the city around the hub role?
So because our recruitment was so successful and we had a number of potential hub carers who we could have appointed, we would be we were very keen to scale up 2 constellations by October this year, with a third within the first year of the project. Obviously, with the current situation, the current circumstances that we're working in, we are regrettably kind of in the position where we can't pursue this piece of work at this moment in time. We've put the project on hold, but let everyone know that we're absolutely still signed up to doing this at the soonest opportunity that we can.
Yeah. That was going to be my second question, but I guessed it would be a pause button. But at least we're getting to this point now where we have pressed a kind of go and a real intention, and getting it through this meeting I think is a really important thing, because once everyone starts rebuilding things, you want to start from a position of having started it rather than having to build up to it again. So that was going to be my second question. So I'm absolutely happy and quite excited for the future of seeing how it rolls out. So that was just the first thing. Allowances and schemes field audit. Sorry. So I'm just approving it, the revised policy. Yeah. Are they both come under the same report? Yeah. So that's it, folks. Thank you very much for coming over. Thanks for your time. I also, just before we go, just want to place on record my thanks to the officers who are working so hard and way beyond the call of duty in protecting and safeguarding, children in the city, and I am in a way not surprised by the response from people and schools as well as families, but nevertheless it's with great pride that I can say that everyone is really pulling out the stops and working hard, and it's not going to stop yet. So on that note, I will stop this meeting so we can carry on working. Thank you.